Absolutely no chance.
It's the end of the year, Ayaz, and today we look back at what has been quite a crucial year for Indian cricket. And let's start off with the biggest achievement, which is the women winning the World Cup at home. Now, this is the single most important thing that has happened to Indian women's cricket. And of course, there was a lot of attention on women's cricket in India in the past few years, especially with the coming in of the WPL. But now you would imagine that the stage is set for phenomenal growth, right?
Oh, absolutely. And you can see it manifest immediately after the tournament, after that victory. Now the domestic tournaments are going to attract more players and more money going to the girls to play. So obviously it's a cascading effect that seeing that there's a livelihood to be made, and obviously there's a glamour and your own passion where you can actualize your potential. I think we'll see a real surge in young women cricketers in India. And I think of high quality, much as what has happened in the men's section over the last 15, 20 years, I see that happening in the women's section. And I think you're right. I mean, this has been the most significant year for women's cricket, I think, internationally, not just in India. Yes, of course, for India because they won the World Cup. But the ramifications of that will leave a huge impact on women's cricket across the world. I think that this has been, in many ways, a breakthrough year for women's cricket in many, many ways.
Yeah, and as we're talking about women's cricket, I'll just take the opportunity to plug our latest issue of the week, which has Harmanpreet Kaur on the cover. And I promise you've not seen her like this before, so do grab your copy. And Ayaz, let's move on to the men's side of cricket now. And we'll start off with the ODI format. Now, India started off strong, winning the Champions Trophy and reasserting their dominance in white ball cricket. But most of the conversation this year has been on the pair of Rohit and Virat Kohli and their future in the format. Now, they did stutter a bit when they came back, but then they gone on to prove why they are champions of this format. And both of them are currently playing the Vijay Hazare Trophy. I mean, both of them got hundreds today. But my question is whether ODI cricket would be put on the back burner for now because you have the T20 World Cup coming up, then you have the IPL. So is it just that it's just about these two and the format gets forgotten when it's not being played?
No, I think look, he's got a shot in the arm with Virat and Rohit playing the ODIs for India and obviously internationally. We saw what happened when they went to Australia with the Indian team. Huge crowds thronged the stadium, and that's the quality of a of a very accomplished player and the big stars in any sport. People come to watch these stars in action because they promise so much. And the good thing is that there was so much speculation. There was even some, there was some criticism that they were being given this leeway that you can surrender two formats and play only this and still be part of the team. But I think they just proved their critics wrong from the manner in which they played against Australia, then against South Africa, and now they are playing the Vijay Hazare Trophy. And obviously, that it just shows that their target of playing in the 2027 World Cup, which is 2 years from now, is not a pipe dream. Obviously, there's a lot of territory, a lot of ground to cover still. 2 years is a long time to sustain fitness and form is the big challenge for anybody in this age group. When you're 37, 38, 40, that's always a serious challenge. So, but they've begun well. And I think it's in many ways, it's a boon for India because remember, in the test series against South Africa, we cropped. I mean, we became a cropper. We bombed badly. We lost two test matches to South Africa. So there was recompense of sorts in the ODI series, which we kind of won, and obviously even in the T20 series, not without struggle. But I think Rohit and Virat have, they set out to prove a point. They proved that point, and now they can be not rest easy, but a little more assured of where they are headed and the kind of decisions that they've taken.
Yeah, and let's do talk about Test cricket now. So we saw the beginning of the Shubman Gill era, and it was a promising start with that 2-2 series in England. But then the capitulation happened, like you mentioned, against South Africa at home, and all the attention has now moved from Shubman Gill, that new captain, to Gautam Gambhir and his role and his future. So I'll be blunt, how many more Test matches losses in India till he loses his job? Or let's frame it differently. Do you think that India will maybe think of having separate coaches for separate formats? I mean, you saw the whole Shubman Gill thing like putting him into the T20 side, and now they seem to be backtracking on that. So do you think something like that could happen with the coaches as well?
It could happen. What is emerging clearly, is that Indian cricket has become a little more volatile. It's become more reactive.
Yeah.
Something happens, then some reaction happens, and when that reaction doesn't work well, then another reaction happens. So I would be shocked if there's a new coach that comes in. But I wouldn't be shocked either if he retains his job, Gautam Gambhir. So I think there is no test match now till August, September, I think, So uh, white ball cricket, I think India are far better than they have been in red ball cricket over the past couple of years at least. So, the ODI we fared well, the T20 we fared well. We're defending champions in the T20 World Cup. If we do well in this tournament, a lot of what happened in Test cricket will be forgotten. Remember, as we speak, on the WTC points table, the rankings, I think India is now number 6. And there's a good chance that you might not qualify again for the WTC final, which would be such a shame because, in terms of talent and the reputation, the name you got, and the facilities and the incentives that is there for these players, they should be. I mean, we've been twice in the final. We lost both times. Last time we didn't make the cut. This time we are on the back foot. It'll be a tough call from here with Australia, South Africa, New Zealand in the vanguard, and we are leading the pack of laggards.
Yeah, but let's not end on a sour note. We'll end on a sweet note, which is the T20I format, which India is clearly one of the maybe the the strongest team in the world. They haven't lost a series in a while. They won the Asia Cup and all the drama that happened. There was a bit of destabilization when I mentioned like Shubman Gill coming in and then Sanju Samson having to go out of the team, and now they seem to be course correcting a bit. But do you think with the World Cup coming, do you think that it will be an upset if India don't win?
I think so because it's a defending champion. The team is extremely good, even without Shubman Gill. It's a very strong team, full of very energetic and youngsters who got strong ambition and the fearlessness that become almost a cliche in this format. So and playing at home, that's a huge advantage. Apart from the match in Colombo against Pakistan, most all the matches are in India, so that home advantage matters a lot. Now about Shubman Gill, I think actually the selectors have done the right thing. They sent out a very strong message that yes, reputation matters, but current form matters more so, especially when you're heading into a major tournament. So obliquely, there's also been a message sent to Surya Kumar Yadav, who's also been short of runs, much like Shubman Gill. So I don't foresee a change because I think the New Zealand series against India in the T20s, I hope that Sky comes good. But yes, I think there is remember from the time we won in 2024, when that India beat South Africa in the final, a lot has changed in the ethos of the T20. And the other players, other teams, other countries are also playing a certain brand. They've worked out they've also evolved. So I don't think India can take it easy despite all the advantages that are there for India.
Yeah, and so that's all we had for today, and a lot more cricket coming up. New Year starting, and there's always cricket on in India, and we'll be there to cover it for you. So that's it for this episode of Sports Room. We'll see you next time.